Hello everybody, welcome to this channel. I'm Payman Ansari. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to write a function in Python. A function in Python is a block of reusable code that is used to perform a specific task. It usually has three components: input, functions body or function machine, and the output. You give some input to the function does some operation on the input and spits out some output. How we define it in Python is like this. We start off with the keyword def, which stands for definition. Then we give the function name and followed by a parenthesis with the arguments or inputs, and then colon. Then we have the function body, which is indented, and usually it is a block of code. And the final part is return output. Return is the keyword, and output is what the function spits out. It is a good idea to write docstring, a description of function, what the function does, what is the input, and what would be the output. We start off with a simple example where the function does not have input and does not use the return statement. We call the function greetfunc, and we start off with def keyword, then the name of the function and parentheses, even if it doesn't have input, then colon, and we use a print statement. We write, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. When we run this and then we call this greetfunc, it will print out, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Next, we want to give an input to the function. So in this case, we give the name as input and we print hello, the name, and write, it's a pleasure to meet you. And if we run this, we see that this format has the name of Jack. Hello, Jack. It's a pleasure to meet you. In the next example, I define a function where it has input as well as it uses return statement. This function has two input A and B and returns the sum of the two numbers A and B. And as you can see, we use the return statement and we return the sum of A and B. And when we call the function, the sum of 3 and 5 is A. Remember that we can assign the value of the function to a new variable and use that variable. An important topic in defining a function is when you want to give default value to the variables. Here we define a function which returns the sum of three input A, B, and C. But the default value for B is 2 and the default value for C is 5. Remember that this variable should be defined at the end of the function. When we run this function and we call it for the value A to be 5, then it will return 5 for A, B is 2, and C is 5. But if we want to change the value of variable B from 2 to 4, then we just need to give the value 4 for B and call the function 5 for A and 4 to B, and it will return the sum of the three numbers. And if we want to change the variable C as well, then we need to give the new variable. When we give the variable value, when we call the function, it will overwrite the default value. However, if sometimes you want to just change the variable C, not B, just you need to specify that one when you call the function. Here we give the value C as 12, but we don't change the default value for B, and it will return the sum of the three numbers. There are situations where the number of inputs of a function is variable. In this case, we use asterisk. Here is an example. We want to take the sum of the number in a list, but we don't know how many numbers exist in the list. To do that, we write a function called summation, and we give the input with asterisk behind the numbers. So the numbers is a list, and we want to take the sum of this number. And when we run this, for the first example, we have 1, 2, and 3. So the sum of this three number is 6. But for the next call, we add another number. So the length of the list is 4 because we have 4 numbers, and we see that we get the right output of this function.